Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is electricity and circuit, we were talking about that of the circuit itself, in which we had discussed about the open circuit and the closed circuit. When we were talking about the open circuit and that of the closed circuit, we see students that basically the open circuit is the circuit when the connecting wires are not connected properly to each other, either to the device itself or to the cell itself. You know that for a simple electric circuit, the thing that is important for us is connecting wire, cell and that of the bulb. If switch is there, so switch will also included in it. Now, when we talk about the closed circuit, so here it is a complete circuit in which the wire from the one terminal of the cell connected to the device and again from the device itself other wire connected to the negative terminal of the cell. Okay, so if the cell is properly connected to the device with the help of the connecting wire, that circuit will be a closed circuit, and if it is not connected properly, that circuit will be the open circuit. So this is the difference between that of the open circuit and that of the closed circuit, students. Now, if you are talking about the circuit itself, so you see that basically circuit include connecting wire, circuit include a torch bulb or any device on a cell. In a torch bulb, filament is also there, and if this filament will be broken by any other mean, by any method, means either the more heat will be generated or more heat will be flow through it. So if it will be broken, then electric current will not flow through it. So this is the called as the fused bulb. So even in the fused bulb, there is a formation of a gap, and due to which electricity will not flow through it. Now, if you talk about that of the circuit itself, you know that there is a switch also which help in completing the circuit. Basically, what is the role of the switch? It help in connecting. It help in making a circuit open. It help in making a circuit closed. I told you about that. If suppose a circuit is there and there is a switch like this. So if this switch is not connected to that of the So I'm just drawing a rough diagram, students, for you to understand it. So if suppose this switch is not connected, so what happened? There is a gap, student. If it is a gap here, if a gap is present, it means if the current will flow through it, it will not going to touch, so no current will able to go to the electric bulb. Now, this is called as the switch is in the off position. Okay, so when you turn on the switch, then turn off the switch, then what happened? They used to get open. So the connection between one wire to the other will automatically get apart from each other. It means they get open. So circuit is now open here. There is a gap between the two connecting wires. So the bulb will not glow. What happened when you turn the switch on? At that time, this will going to touch that of the other end. Like this, students. So now it is connected, so electricity will easily flow through it and complete the circuit, and hence the bulb will glow. Okay, so this is what that switch, how switch help in completing or how switch make a circuit close or an open circuit. So with the help of the switch itself, we are able to make a circuit open or close. Now let us move on and see what is torch. Okay, what is torch? So torch is what? It is a portable electric lamp which includes two or more cells to light a small bulb. You have seen in a torch we use two cells. Okay, two cells are used, and these cells are always connected in a proper manner. If suppose this is the one cell, this is the positive end and this is the negative end, so the other cell is connected in such a way that its positive terminal, in such a way that its metal cap touches the other terminal. Okay, so the metal cap means this positive terminal will be connected. So it is connected like this, students. What does that? I want to tell you, students, that torch is what? It is a portable device. It means that torch is a portable, means what? That which we can carry from one place to another. This kind of electric lamp is supposed to be a portable electric lamp. So we can say that torch is an electric lamp. Sorry, it is a portable electric lamp. It is a portable electric lamp which uses two or more cells, which uses two or more cells to light a small bulb. To light a small bulb. Okay, now this torch, what is the use here? It helps in providing the light whenever we are going out. Okay, so it helps in providing light whenever it helps in providing light whenever it is dark or going outside. So basically we can carry it if suppose we are going outside in a dark night. So it will help in supplying the electricity to us. Now you have seen that torch is having a small switch. So when you turn on the switch or when you slide the switch, what happens? The torch bulb which is present in the torch, it will glow, and due to which light flash. And when you slide the switch again in the another direction, then the torch bulb stop glowing. So it is the switch which is present in the torch which help in operating the torch itself. So we can say that in torch, the torch has bulb. It has a bulb that lights up, when it is switched on. When it is switched on. Okay, so when switch is on, at that time the torch used to work. Okay, now let us try to understand that what kind of electric current or what kind of electric circuit is there in case of the torch. Basically, the torch consisting again is of very simple circuit. It consisting of two or more cell. A switch is there, a torch bulb is there, and these are connected with each other, and finally the bulb will glow. So we can write it here, that is a torch contains a simple electric circuit. A simple electric circuit in a circuit. Now, what are the things which is present in a torch? So, in a torch, we can write one or more cells are there. One one or more cells are connected to the torch bulb. It is connected to the torch bulb through a sliding switch. Through a sliding switch. So you have seen here, students, the switch which is present in that of the torch bulb is a kind of a sliding switch. Okay, so it is having a sliding switch. Then the next one is that whenever, if suppose you want to provide a light, if you want to use the torch, so what we used to do, we used to slide the switch, and by pushing it forward, the circuit gets completed and the bulb lights up. So we can write it that when the torch is needed to provide light, we close the sliding switch by pushing it forward. By pushing it forward, so that circuit is completed. And the bulb lights up. Okay, so we can say that torch, it is needed to provide light. Now what happens if suppose we want to do not want to use the torch, then what we used to do, we used to turn the switch off. And for doing so, what we can do that is when the torch is not needed, then the sliding switch is open. Is opened by pushing it backwards, so that the circuit breaks and bulb is turned off. So that the circuit breaks and bulb is turned off. Okay. Now, if you look, you see students, what we have understood here, basically it consists of a switch. When you slide the switch, what happens? The connection will be completed. Actually, the switch is, when the switch was at the back position, at that time there is a small opening, small gap is there in the circuit, and due to which the circuit remained open, and thus the torch bulb do not glow. But when we slide the switch forward, then it completed the circuit. The circuit become closed, and finally the torch bulb glows. So we can say that this switch is helping in completing the circuit. When it is needed, we will slide it forward, the circuit gets completed and the torch bulb glow. And whenever it is not needed, then we will push it backward and finally the circuit breaks. Finally there is a formation of a gap, and due to which the circuit becomes open again. Now what are the things in that of the torch? So a torch has 2 or more cells. That is, a torch has 2 or more cells. While using the cells, the 2 or more cell in that of the torch, we should remember the way we are putting it inside. It means the torch cell should be kept in such a way that one of the metal cap should touch the other disc of the cell. So we can write it that the cells should be joined, the cells in the torch have to be joined correctly. Have to be joined correctly. It has to be joined correctly. How? You see that the 2 cells, that is, the 2 cells in the torch, the 2 cells in the torch join like, it should be joined like, that is, we can say that the positive terminal of one of the cell, the positive terminal of the cell is always kept in contact, is always kept in contact with the negative terminal, with the negative terminal of the other cell, with the negative terminal of the other cell. It means the positive terminal of the first cell is in contact with the base of the bulb, and the positive terminal of the other cell, and the positive terminal of the other cell is in contact of the with the other cell. Okay, is in contact with the negative terminal of the first cell. Negative terminal of the first cell, students. Okay, with the, okay. Now you see here, students, what does that mean? That basically we are knowing that torch consisting of 2 or more cells. So we use 2 or more cells together to complete the torch. And here, when you join the cells, we should always keep in mind that it should be joined correctly. How can we join it correctly? So the two cells in the torch, it should be joined like the positive terminal of the cell. It is kept in a contact with the negative terminal of the other cell. One of the terminal should be connected to the other terminal properly. Okay. Now the positive terminal of the first cell, it should be in contact with the base of the bulb. What the base of the bulb, at first when you keeping that of the first cell in the torch, remember that the one cell should be touch the base of the bulb, and the second cell, when you are adding the second cell, that should touch the base of the first cell. Okay, so we can say that here the base of the bulb should be connected to the first cell, and the positive terminal of the first cell, the positive terminal of the second cell should be connected to the negative terminal of the first cell. I have shown you with the help of the diagram also, student, that if suppose this is the first cell, so it should be like this, and here the torch bulb, the base of the torch bulb. So it should be like that it is the positive, it is the negative terminal. Again here it is the negative and this is the positive terminal. So the positive terminal of the first one should be connected to the base of the bulb, and the second one should be connected to the negative terminal of the first cell. So likewise, we have to join the torch properly, otherwise the torch will be, it will not glow. Okay, so this was, students, we have discussed about that of the torch itself. Okay, how the torch work and what are the things that we should remember while joining the torch or while keeping the cell in it. Now moving on and see the next topic, and that is conductor and insulators. Okay, so let us see about conductors and insulators. Obviously, students, you see that whenever we make wire, whenever we make a circuit, electric circuit, we need a wire. That wire is what? It is, we use a term for it, that it is a kind of a connecting wire. Connecting wire means what, students? It means the wire which help in connecting the cell to that of the device, right? And basically the wire is used since it help in giving path for the electric current to pass through it. Now my question is that, okay, for making a circuit we have used a copper wire, and that copper wire is providing a path and due to which the electric current pass through it. What about that in place of a copper, if we will going to use a cotton thread? Or why can't we use a cotton thread for making a circuit? So you see that since the cotton thread, it is not a conductor. Okay, so it do not allow the electric current to pass through it. It means this cotton thread do not give path for the electric current to pass through it. So you have seen here that a copper wire is there, a copper is there, or a wire which is made up of a copper. It allows the electric current to pass through it. It is giving path for the electric current to pass through it. But if it is a cotton thread, so in place of a cotton thread, you see that it do not allow the electric current to pass through it. It means it is not providing a path for the electric current to pass through it. So we can say that there are materials which is providing path for the electric current, and there are the materials which do not give path for the electric current to flow. and on the basis of that they have divided the materials into conductors and insulators. So let us see what is a conductor and insulator. So those materials which allows electric current to pass through them. Are called conductors. Okay. The flow of electric current is called electricity. So, whenever it is asked that what do you understand by electricity, you will always write that when the current flows, the flowing of the electric current, that is called as the electricity. Okay, so the flow of the electric current is called electricity. This definition is important, student, that those materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called as conductors, because many times this conductors ask that what do you understand by conductor or what is the definition of the conductor itself. Okay, so we can write about that. Now you see that basically if we talk about the metals, so all the metals are conductors. It means they allow electric current to pass through them. They allow electric current to pass through them. Okay. In that, silver is supposed to be the best conductor also, students. So we can write that silver metal is the best conductor. Silver metal is the best conductor, although copper and aluminium is also a good conductor. Is a good conductor. Copper and aluminium is supposed to be a good conductor. Okay, so iron is there, steel is there, student, gold, metal, alloys, even pencil lead also, that is made up of a graphite, and human body is supposed to be very good conductor. You see that if suppose water, they are a very good conductor. You see that whenever we touch the electric, if we touch the electric current, that we get electric shock, and reason that since the electricity passes through our body, so we can say that we get the electric current here, students. Now moving on and see that what do we understand by the insulators. So we can write it, that is those materials which do not allow electricity to pass through them. Electricity to pass through them are called insulators. They are called as insulators. And example, students, rubber, then plastics, very good. Dry wood is also there, ceramic, jute, okay, glass, mica, cotton, jute. Okay, then paper, etc. These all are what? These all are the insulators. So conductors which do not allow electricity to pass through it, conductors which allow electricity to pass through it, insulators which do not allow electricity to pass through it. Okay.